Imagine a 6-year-old, status epilepticus. You've got a 10-minute response time. The patient is currently seizing. You walk in the door, you've got the skills, you've got the protocols, but you don't have the midazolam. This is becoming a dangerous reality here in Maine. By mid-July, a major hospital system in Maine has set a deadline to stop supplying controlled substances to EMS agencies in Maine. Super easy to get angry and to point some fingers. It's easy to say that the hospitals are cutting off EMS agencies, but the truth is, it's much more complicated than that. And we need to take a hard look in the mirror. We need to take a look at this crisis from 4 perspectives. I'm Jason Oka. Welcome to EMS Pizza-Politics. If you want to lead in this industry, you have to be able to see the whole board. And that's why we're talking about the Protecting Patient Access to Emergency Medications Act and why this is a huge grow-up moment for EMS. Let's clear the air. Hospitals are not the villain in this story. They don't want to leave EMS behind. To understand this from the hospital's perspective, you have to understand the 5% rule of DEA registration. From the DEA's perspective, if a hospital gives out more than 5% of its total inventory of controlled substances, they legally need to register as a distributor, which is a much more complicated and complex process, much more expensive also. If they go over the 5% distribution, they become a distributor. That triggers a set of massive federal regulations that they have to comply with, and they can't take that on. With EMS agencies now becoming DEA registrants themselves, the hospitals will brush up against that 5% cap. They are legally forced to pull back. They want to help, but the federal government has tied their hands. Now let's talk about us. For decades, EMS has had an easy button in this, and those days are over. This is a grow-up moment for EMS agencies in Maine and across the country. We have to become independent, and the shock to the system is real. Navigating complex federal regulations and an online DEA registration process is a massive pill to swallow. Establishing accounts with pharmaceutical distributors and getting the storage requirements, safes, and software for tracking controlled substances is an expensive proposition and an administrative nightmare for a volunteer chief. It's complex and it's frustrating, but being an independent healthcare profession means owning our own logistics even when the paperwork feels impossible. So where does the state fit in? You might say I'm biased here. I work for the state of Maine. But these opinions here, these are my own. To their credit, Maine EMS has recognized this crisis and delivered a roadmap. They've already hosted 2 webinars with the DEA directly, and they've sent out several operational bulletins to EMS agencies throughout the state. Maine EMS cannot buy the controlled substances for us. They cannot fill out the registration forms for us, but they are facilitating the communication. Our jobs as local leaders is to actually read the bulletins and follow the guidance that they put in those bulletins. We have to attend the meeting, listen to the information, and lay out the plans that they're essentially putting in front of us. Which brings us to the most important perspective, the patient. Because of the administrative and financial burden, nightmare, crisis, whatever you want to call it, some EMS agencies are considering dropping their license level down from the paramedic level to the advanced EMT or even to the EMT level, dropping down from paramedic or advanced EMT simply because they can't afford or manage the administrative burden. This is an unacceptable outcome. When a 6-year-old is seizing and the parents dial 911, the last thing they're thinking about right now is the DEA's 5% rule. They don't care about our hospital supply chain issues. They expect a paramedic with the right medication to walk through the door. If we downgrade our trucks because the paperwork got too hard, we're failing our patients. This is why this channel is called EMS Pizza-Politics. We have a massive political and logistical issue in front of us right now, and the only way to figure this out is to sit at the table together. Hospitals, keep communicating. Keep helping EMS agencies. Help EMS agencies transition smoothly. Share distributor contacts. Larger EMS agencies. If you have the compliance officers, if you have the policy creation experts on your service, reach out to your smaller rural neighbors, offer them guidance, help them navigate the complex policy making decisions, and share your resources for purchasing with them. Municipalities, town councils need to understand that some agencies might need to come back to them and ask for some additional funding for resources to procure medications or to procure storage solutions for storing controlled substances on the ambulance and in the base. And you might need some additional security features too. EMS is a distinct, critical branch of healthcare. It's time we fully own the responsibilities that come with that title. It's painful, it's complex, but it's necessary. Let's stop pointing fingers and act like independent healthcare leaders. Let's make sure that those drug boxes stay stocked. I'm Jason Oko. Let's get to work.
Thanks for watching. This has been a production of EMS Pizza-Politics and Naughty Pine Media.